Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're going to have a look at XRP. We've not done an XRP video in quite a little while actually, because I've had very little to say about it since this pump thing took place. I promised myself I'd kind of stay away from it to allow the chart to kind of mature to an extent, because when something like this happens, essentially what it does is it undermines the natural rhythm of the chart, and my expectation was that after this it would basically settle down and carry on with whatever it was that it wanted to do. It's not done that yet, and in fact it actually had another rally, a much more constructive rally than anything we've seen in XRP in a while. So in that respect I thought I'd give it another look, because something's taken place clearly. I wouldn't say it's organic and natural, but it's not died off yet, and I say yet because the relationship that XRP has to this 200 exponential moving average is very strong, and I always expect it to come down to test it. In a bull market and in a bear market, I would expect it to come up to test it and then be rejected from it. So what I mean, if we just have a quick look at how it's performed with that kind of rhythm in the past. So this was the bear market, and this was this is where Bitcoin bottomed out and rallied in April. All right, so all altcoins rallied during this period, and XRP massive underperformer because it was still consolidating, as we can see here, you know, with this trend line here. But the relationship I speak of is this. Look, so test it here, rejected, test it here, rejected. This rallied with the market, but basically came back down to test it and test it. So even this area here, you know, technically was a bit overexcited, and then back down to test it, back down to test it, and then when we finally broke above it, this is where we should start to do the inverse. So we should come up to test it, and then bounce up down to test it. Now this has been disrupted from its natural rhythm, because first of all we did have a decent rally, and this was, you know, this was all present on the chart. You'll have to go back, and I'm not asking you to go back and watch my videos, but I made a video saying that something's going to happen, and then it did happen. It was a bit more aggressive than I expected it to be, but it did happen. So this wasn't any kind of pump scheme, this was the chart letting us know it's ready to do something. Then it did do it, and then when it reached its peak, it started to dump, and then SEC stuck their nose in and destroyed it. But the you know, as far as supports and resistances go for XRP, it's still been respected. Look, this blue box here corresponds to the accumulation zone down here. Also, the top of it is the top of the accumulation zone. Wick candle, wick. And candle. So basically, you know, resistances are being respected. So let's have a look at the next blue box territory that we have to go by. So this would correspond to the top of the first rally, and basically reaccumulated, I suppose, within this, around about this zone. So, you know, tops, bottoms, I suppose resistance, support, sorry, and then a rally from there. Now we avoided this death cross on the daily, which is good. So as far as the divergences are concerned, it's pretty good. But now when we look at the chart formation at the moment, what do we have? The Ichimoku cloud can't really be used because of this silly thing that happened here. And you know, as far as a top to bottom in a 24-hour period is concerned, that's pretty devastating, a 44% wick to wick. But look at where we are at right now. So we've got this resistance or support line, whichever way you want to do it, and this would be a very good area for us to remain above. The reason I say that is because we danced around here before we launched, and we broke down severely from here. So this, if we could end up being the base for XRP, it could actually end up being really good. Now, as far as the market cycle is concerned, I've never really expected a great deal from XRP until later on in this year. So after May, the market cycle will allow it a bit more time to mature. Let's have a look at the weekly here. So the weekly, again, looks pretty weird. It looks very weird, and unlike what I would have expected it at this point, but the market is definitely different, and you know, there are fundamental reasons for this to look so weird. Normally what I would say is this would be a bearish formation, and I would expect continuation down on this one. It all very much depends on that 44 to 45 cent zone. It's not even a zone, it's more or less a support, and if that breaks down, then the 200 exponential will be met again. That's going to be rising ever so slightly, but it's more or less static, but we're talking areas between 35 cents and 37.50. Look, End of the day, when it comes to XRP, I am a believer in this chart. Okay, I am a believer in this chart. The long-term time frames would suggest that this will reach a new all-time high at some point this year, most likely towards the end of the year, in Q4. You know, so we're talking the last portion of the year. That's not because it's going to rally with the rest of the market. I mean, it will rally with the rest of the market. It's because that is the end of this market cycle for XRP, and that's when the big moves are going to take place. Now, I don't know if anyone pays attention to sort of news and stuff like that, or watches financial news like Bloomberg. For what it's worth, it's not worth much. You know, I was saying on my live stream last night, one way to think about Bloomberg is that it is like a moving average. You know, a moving average is generated on the back of price action that's already taken place, and it's just kind of smoothing that out to give us an idea of where things are going. So you'll never get in on something that Bloomberg has said. However, with that whole Robinhood GameStop thing and the hearing that took place, and also the rise of Bitcoin, they talk about blockchain now frequently, almost daily. And talking about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and the implementation of them for same-day settlements. This is one of the problems that GameStop and Robinhood had when they halted trading. That was their excuse. They said, "Look, we don't settle things on the same day. There was so many things going through the system. We had to make an adjustment. We had to halt trading. We didn't know if we were going to be able to cover it. We didn't know how this was going to work out. If we had same-day settlements or instant settlements, it wouldn't have been a problem. We would have been able to keep it going." Two people on that panel spoke about the fact that there's blockchain technology out there where it would allow for that to take place. They didn't mention who, but we all know that there's a few people out there that could facilitate that. One of them being XRP, XLM, HBAR, and there's probably a handful of others as well. So it led me to believe that, you know, when trading cryptocurrency, right, you could trade on the back of charts like I do. You can trade on the back of fundamentals also. And with this push towards the Great Reset, which everything is being geared towards now, so we're talking about, you know, going green, electric cars, and basically digitizing money. All governments are going to be looking to do there, and I think it's confirmed already. They are already working towards basically CBDCs, central bank digital currencies that they already have. That's basically running on a ledger, just like cryptocurrency, but it's essentially still the dollar or the pound or the euro or whatever. In order for them to really work, you know, cross borders, they need to have some kind of cross-border payment system to allow that frictionless movement of money. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that XRP is going to be that one, but it's one of the front runners to be that one. So if you're looking to buy into something, I suppose for, you know, and it's a fundamental basis, just to hedge your bets that this could be one of those. This could be the one that they choose. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not actually saying buy it. I'm just saying that, you know, it's interesting to think that there is now this big push towards this type of technology, and it's almost certainly going to come to effect at some point in the not too distant future. So to hedge into some of these type of tokens, XLM, XRP, HBAR, probably a few others as well, with just a little piece of money, probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, given the fact that we've been given the clues now frequently enough that this is the way things are going to be going. So we've got the opportunity, I suppose, to pick these sort of things up, because we're in cryptocurrency. We've been doing this anyway. We've probably got a lot of this anyway, right? So I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. I don't know if anyone watches that type of stuff. I don't make a habit of it, but I do put it on for a bit of background noise from time to time, and it's become more frequent, almost a daily event actually, that they talk about these sort of things. So I'm pretty confident that sooner or later something will actually take place, and whether they use XRP or not, I don't know, but just in the event that they do, I think it's wise to suggest, I'm, to myself at least anyway, I'm prepared to hold on to some of this and not really even trade it, trying to accumulate, I suppose, a bit of coin margin, coin futures perhaps, where I'm very confident. I think in the long run it will probably pay off, whether it's XRP, XLM or something else, who knows. Anyway, that was a nice boring chat, and I'll leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.